I can't believe that.
I can believe that. Because we're lazy asses. No, we're not lazy asses. We're just busy people.
We have lives that interrupt our things we wish we could be doing, and we have to do things that we have to do.
Oh my gosh. I've been to the beach. I bought some yarn at the beach. The kids started school. We lost a testicle. What's happened in your life?
We went to Reno and Susanville. The boys got to ride on a big swather and cut some hay.
Wow.
We went to the beach yesterday, and the boys are not back in school. And we didn't lose any testicles.
Okay. Good for you. And it's not like it rolled in bed with a fuzz bunnies.
We did lose the remote in the couch for about a week.
Okay, that could be worse than losing a testicle.
I think so.
I think. Long story. Don't need to know more information, even though the whole high school knows, just because my son is that way. Now he's being called Lucky Lefty. Okay, now that everybody's spit their coffee out, now we can maybe introduce ourselves in a more professional way than talking about testicles. Yes? Yes.
So I'm Debbie. I live in San Diego, California. I'm the West Coast sister.
I'm the East Coast sister in Georgia. I'm Amy. Inked Indigo on Instagram, Indigo Amy on Ravelry. We do have a group called the Periscoping Sisters in Ravelry, which we have some administrative things to talk about after we talk about our
Sweaters.
Sweaters.
Yes.
Tell us about you. I'm a physical therapist. What are you?
I'm a civil engineer.
She's not civil at all, but she is a civil engineer.
I try to be civil. It's hard sometimes, but most of the time it's okay because I work with some really great people. So what we're wearing and need to not be wearing very quickly here, because on both coasts it's super hot. It's probably it was 80 at the beach yesterday, which is...
Wasn't that beautiful?
Okay, gorgeous. It was awesome. Okay, so we both decided that when we were at the Country House Retreat, Curious Handmade, Helen Stewart's Country House Retreat in March, that we were going to knit this sweater because one of the gals at the retreat had it, and we tried it on. It had been in my favorites for a while. It's by Isabel Kramer. It's called Ailey's. Yeah. So go to our Instagram pages if you want to see more about it. I'm going to do a post. Amy's already done a post. You can find out the designer and the yarns and all that stuff. But we purchased yarn when we were at EYF.
Yes.
And I bought Eden Cottage yarn. This yarn is 80% wool, 20% silk. It's a DK weight. And it's called Cormer's Pier, I think, is the name of the colorway. What's your yarn?
And my yarn is from Midwinter Yarns. And this is the Jamie colorway. It is DK, blue-faced luster, and black sheep. It's all wool.
Woolly wool.
Woolly wool. And you know what? I have a short sleeve shirt underneath it, and it's not scratchy at all. It's beautiful.
Okay, so do you want to talk about yours? Get up and show us.
Okay, so I did some modification. I did not do the collar as high as it calls for. I did not do the pockets. You see that?
Yes, it's really cute.
And I added a little, I don't know if you're supposed to, but I added the little motif on the outside of the sweater, of the sleeve, that you have on the pockets.
Show the side, yes. So the motif is on the side and on the lower on the back and under the sleeve.
Yep, it's on the
inside of the sleeve. It turned out so pretty, Amy. That color is gorgeous. It's got variation, huh?
Yes. And I absolutely love it.
It fits you perfectly.
I did it as long, but it comes right to just a couple inches below the top of my iliac crest.
Whatever that is, Miss Physical Therapist.
It's the top of your hip.
Okay.
Okay, tell us about yours.
Okay, so I did knit the collar pretty much to the pattern. And I did knit the pockets.
She's a rule follower. Oh my God. You can see the little pockets. That's cute, Debbie.
I liked that little detail. They're not huge. They're really just a little design detail.
Oh my gosh, that colorway. Ah, it is beautiful. And you did the motif on the outside of the wrist?
And no? I did the same thing you did. I added, I don't know if you could see.
So nice.
And I brought mine up the same number as I did on the front and then in the back.
You had some ripping out you did, I remember.
Yeah, because
Glad you did, though.
I knit down too far. My motif would have been like right above where the ribbing started. So,
it's so pretty.
I ripped back a little bit.
So how do you tell me about the fabric that you got?
Yeah, so something that I learned. Now, I already knew this, but I ignored it and I didn't think about it. I didn't.
Because you know everything anyway.
No, I knew this because I actually took a class at one of the fiber festivals I went with Mom, Stitches West. And it was about yarn content and fabric and how to substitute yarns for different patterns and things like that. And this pattern, I think, calls for 100% wool, some kind of, wool that really holds its shape well. So you can see that my collar's kind of floppy. It doesn't stand up as, maybe as the way it should in the pattern.
Well, remember, the pictures in the pattern are just pictures. So they get it the way they want it, and then they take a picture. So not saying that it stays that way. Those buttons are perfect. We bought those at UYF as well.
Yes. And so because my buttons are actually really light, but mom suggested that I get a button for the back side and just, put the yarn through the sweater and connect both buttons like a sandwich to hold them in place.
Yes.
It helps so that you don't pull on the yarn and stretch out the strands that your button is connected to. It keeps it sturdy. So I did that. I put the buttons on last night, and I really like it. It's very casual and sporty looking. My arms tend to be a little bit heavier than for the rest of the shape of my body measurements. So
is it tight? It doesn't look too tight.
It's not too tight. I mean, I block them kind of aggressively. It's not super tight.
Looks
but
good.
it's form fitting. And we're always working on staying healthy and keeping our weight down. And so when I get to the point to where that's where I want to be, my arms do slim down quite a bit. So that's my story about my sweater. I love it. Now I'm going to take it off.
Yes, I know. I was going to say the same thing.
My gosh.
T-shirts on.
Yes.
I can't wait to wear this when it starts getting cooler, and I'm literally just going to have to wear a little cami underneath it because it is so warm.
But this Eden Cottage yarn, oh my gosh. Oh, another thing. I alternated skeins for the body, but I did not for the sleeves. And look at how beautiful. You cannot tell one difference. Her hand dyeing is just fabulous. I mean, look at how even that is.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I think that I knit is I want it in that color. I think I'm going to knit a sort of a bluish, I don't know.
You're going to knit a winter sweater or something lighter?
I have no idea. I just like that colorway. I like that color, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so before we go and talk about all kinds of fun things, not saying this isn't fun because it is exciting for the people that win. Can you get up the number generator?
Sure.
We had 2 threads running. Well, there's a third thread, which is Debbie's drizzle socks knit along that we're doing in the group. But we had 2, we've got 2 threads that I closed. One for the Springtime Melody shawl. And there was only a handful of people who went in. So there might be somebody very lucky. So that's going to be 2 through 29.
Okay. 2 through
by Jen Sheelan.
29. Number 19 is the winner.
19. Okay, hold on. Let me get Ravelry up so I can see who that is.
I can't tell if you can see that on the screen.
Yes, I can see that.
Okay.
Funny because people say, I was watching the podcast. Oh my God, you called my name. It's really funny how people sometimes find out just by watching the podcast and not by any other way. Okay.
Is your camera farther away from you than normal, Amy?
It may
Seems
be.
it seems like your sound may be a little bit low, but I don't know if
Oh, nobody's ever told me they can't hear me. Let me pull it a little closer. Maybe we'll try that. Does that
that's
sound
better. That looks a little better. Yeah. Thank you.
okay? So number 19 on the Springtime Melody Shawl by Jen is.
I'll write it down.
I wrote it down too.
Okay.
Patty B 520.
Okay.
Patty B 520. She lives in Minnesota.
Oh, perfect.
That's number 19.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yay, Patty.
Patty, I'll message you if you don't message me first on Ravelry. That's probably the best way because not everybody has Instagram. Okay,
No, you just have to message the designer to send it to her.
I will. I
Okay.
will. Okay, so the potluck pullover by our favorite Devik Star. That is going to be numbers 2 through 48.
Okay. Number 22, almost in the exact middle.
Wow. How about that? Okay, so let me see who's 22. Number 22. Colorful Coder. Colorful Coder. I wonder what she does for a job. Only kidding. Colorful Coder. Number 22. Congratulations.
She's a computer whiz.
She is Sally, who lives in Louisiana.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations. Okay, we have one more giveaway. Emily from Blue Mouse Knits had messaged me and said she would like to give away her billowing shawl. And for those who don't win the billowing shawl, or if you would just like a copy and you can't wait, she's giving a 15% off coupon code PS15.
Oh, nice.
Emily, you're the greatest. Now, you guys got all that? Okay, so I wanted to pull up, I took a picture of it. It's beautiful. It's a 2-color shawl. I think it's fingering weight. Stunning, stunning, stunning.
Ooh, that's pretty. Is it triangular or is it like a crescent?
I think it's crescent. It's got some striping and some eyeletting and some little lace on the. Isn't that beautiful?
That's really pretty. It looks like it's a large shawl.
Yes.
Ooh, that's
so that's
pretty.
billowing. I'm going to put up a thread to give away that. That's by Emily from Blue Mouse Knits. She's got several designs. Go to her Ravelry store, Blue Mouse Knits. She has shawls, she has hats, she has cardigans.
Oh,
really
wow.
beautiful things. Yes. Thank you, Emily.
Should we do a random surprise giveaway just because we can?
Yeah, let's do that. Just what we can, maybe the replies from last.
Yeah, let's do on the comments from last week or last time. Let me find something from my giveaway bag. Let me just grab something real quick.
Okay, so let me look at the Periscoping Sisters. You guys, we are so close to our 6,000 subscribers. We have 29 people left before we hit 6,000. We must open a thread. Let me get my secretary to write a note.
Okay, write a note, Zach.
6K subscribers.
Okay, look at what I pulled out of my bag. And I may add a couple other little things to this. This is from our friends over at Fiddly Dye Works. She's actually a really good friend of Jenny Lone Larch Designs. She's a friend of Jenny's. This is her 7525 BFL sock, fingering weight, 400 yards in 100 grams. So it's a nice 2-ply, really pretty twist. Look at how beautiful that is.
That gray and green together.
This would make a beautiful pair of socks for a boy or a girl. And the colorway name is Gabe. You see that?
See, Gabe, boy's name.
Yep.
Okay, we have 69 replies from our last podcast.
Okay. Here's hoping you don't have to count a whole bunch. So I'm going to put in 1 through 69, right?
Yeah, so do I start from the bottom and count up?
Yes, because the first reply would be number 1 at the bottom, right?
Okay. Well, let me not screw this up.
Well, let's just write it down. Well, I guess we do need to count. Okay, here we go. I'm going to generate.
I can count 1, 2, 3.
Okay, 25. That's not too bad.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this skein of yarn would also pair very, very beautifully with a gray skein, and it would look gorgeous in a 2-color shawl like the one that Amy just described from our latest giveaway that's going to happen this week. Okay, she's got a name. It would also pair really, really beautifully with just a natural color or a dark, dark green, or it could just be by itself. Look at that, you guys. Is that not beautiful? Go check out Fiddly Dye Works. She's really done some beautiful things, and we really appreciate her donating to the podcast. Thank you so much.
Okay, so guess who wins that?
Who won?
Nettie062.
Yay, Nettie!
Nettie,
Thanks for participating.
You are the winner of that beautiful skein of yarn. I hope you knit. Yeah, she does knit.
She needs to contact me. She needs to send me an Instagram message or something on Ravelry so I can get her address, because that's her Google name. That may not be her Instagram name or her Ravelry name. So Nettie, reach out. You won.
Reach out and touch somebody.
But we love it. We love it with.
Not inappropriately, because you get in trouble, like really bad trouble these days. I tell Skylin, since I've told her since she was 4 years old, because I tell every teacher at the beginning of every single year, except this year because she has several teachers, I say Skylin wants to be the teacher to everybody and she wants to be the mother to everybody, so just beware. So every year up until now, she started 5th grade, they have teacher parent conferences just once at the beginning of the year. And I say to them, was I right? Doesn't she want to be everybody's parent, everybody's teacher? And she says, yes, she's right. I need to remind her at times. So telling Skylin to keep her hands to herself, but I was just fixing their collar. I don't care. Because one kid punched her in the arm because there was a piece of tape stuck to his t-shirt and she was trying to get it off and he came around and swung at her, hit her. I said, see, don't keep your hands to yourself. You get knocked out.
I don't want to hear about what happened after that. She probably punched him right back and laid him flat.
She has held the child by his throat to the wall. Now, this is her story. He was, I think, bullying one of her friends. So she can keep the bullies away from herself by bullying the bully protector. I said, Skylin, you're going to get yourself excommunicated from the school. I'm going to end up having to homeschool you from afar because I'll be at work because you can't keep your hands to yourself and let everything go on its own. And she actually likes gym class this year for the first time.
She's growing into her own. She's going to be just fine.
She decided last week that she wants to be a Marine. It won't last. It'll be okay. Because for the last year or so, she's wanted to be an astronaut. And I told her she has to learn a lot of math. Well, she kind of thought about that. She did some research on my little tablet. She wants to be a Marine now. It's okay.
You don't need to learn a lot of math to be a Marine.
No, but you can't cry every time you get a splinter either. Hello.
Yes, that's true. But she'll grow out of that.
Okay, moving on.
When it comes down to it and she's got to be tough in front of other people, she can be tough in front of other people.
Yes, she can.
Like her cousins in California when she tells them that they're city kids. You city kids. We laugh about that today.
And we both live in subdivisions. Like Skylin is a country bumpkin. She owns a pair of cowboy boots, but I don't think they've ever walked on a plot of farmland. They've never stepped in manure. So I don't know how she thinks she's the country girl.
Well, if you look at your subdivision versus my subdivision, you're much more rural.
There's much more trees here.
Yeah.
We have a little bit more
green
and spread outness. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what shall we talk about other than we got done with? Have you finished? Oh, you've got a lot of things to talk about. Let's see your socks behind you. I have no finished objects other than my sweater.
Really?
Yeah. I got a gnat in here. Great.
Oh, nice. So this was my contribution to the Tits Out Collective. Can you believe the totals?
Okay, so just explain Mom might not know what that is, and then she's going to call us saying for us not to talk poorly. So,
Okay. So what happened, and I don't have the full story, but I was on the fringes. I didn't see the original post, but from what I remember, Countess Ablaze created a colorway. And part of the story with this colorway, or part of the reasoning for the naming of the colorway, the name of the colorway is "If I Wanted Exposure, I'd Get My Tits Out."
that's a
And
long name.
that name was because she was involved, or she met someone who had some sort of marketing business or was involved in some sort of store or some way to get um, independent makers exposure.
Right.
And he made some kind of derogatory comment or indicated to her that in order for her to be able to be part of this thing that he was doing, she would need to donate a bunch of her stuff. But it was for exposure. It was just for exposure. You're not going to get paid. And
Right.
so
They
hence
wanted free stuff or discounted stuff, but in
right,
the end, for that, you would get a lot more exposure, become more popular, help your business.
right.
And this, we so love her.
Her response was, if I wanted exposure, I'd get my tits out. Like, I don't need your exposure. I'm a small business owner. I can't afford to be donating my stuff, which
Yeah.
I thought was excellent. So then the
But
tits out.
she's got plenty exposure. She's got a huge following.
Yes.
He ought to be asking her if she could sort of advertise for him. I think
Exactly.
in the end, probably felt that way. But anyway, so it became
So then
this movement.
I think the next thing that happened is she discovered that someone copied her colorway.
Oh.
And instead of getting upset and making it like this is a terrible thing, she said, let's all do our own rendition of this colorway. And
Ah,
but if you're going to do that, you have to donate a minimum percentage of the earnings of that colorway towards
favorite charity.
your charity. So in about, I don't know, 15 or 18 days, she and her team organized this whole thing for the month of July.
There was
And
almost 300 designers, makers, every kind of different thing.
mm-hmm.
And
This
did they
was this was from Haverland. I ordered this from Haverland.
I saw a couple different posts with totals. Have you seen the final total?
Yes. The
It was almost
final
100,000 pounds, wasn't it?
no, it was 100,000, almost 100,000 Canadian dollars, but it was in like the 75,000 American dollars and 60 some
That's crazy.
thousand pounds.
And that's just that what was donated, right?
That was only what was donated.
Right.
So I think she's going to do it next year. And if everybody has a whole year to plan for it, it's going to be off the charts next year. It's just going to be what an amazing
I know. What a
movement.
brilliant idea.
Brilliant. So there
Brilliant.
was one lady that did a hand stitched paper piecing project bag, little hexagons, tiny little hexagons like this. And since she could only make really one bag, she decided to do an auction. She raised an amazing amount of dollars for this auction for one bag. I couldn't believe it.
Made of paper?
No, paper piecing, where you cut out paper and you piece the fabric around the paper and then you stitch the pieces together.
Ah.
It looked like a tiny little beekeeper quilt with all these little.
Was a bag.
It was a drawstring project bag that was about this big. And it
What
was
a great idea
gorgeous.
for people who can't replicate or do like dye yarn or make 15 bags, make one thing, have an auction. How did she do how did she do that? On
I don't
Instagram?
know. She found some kind of website that did an auctioning thing where you could bid, and
Oh,
her bids were $1 minimum. So for $1, for a chance to win, she earned thousands of dollars, over $1,000 at least. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. So these are my Tits Out Collective socks. I'm not sure whether this pink yarn has nylon in it. I think it does, but I'm pretty sure this was the gift from Trey Liz sent me that neon pink skein. Remember?
oh yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, it
So
matched perfectly, Debbie.
I know they must. Maybe it's the same dye. Maybe it's straight out of the pot, but it was beautiful. So these I did. I did them top down. So I started with the cuff, 2x2 rib. I just knit down to a certain length. I didn't want to make it too long because I wanted to have some leftovers. I did a little slip stitch mini gusset right here. You see that?
Yes.
And then I did a fish lips kiss heel. And then I picked up the gusset stitches. This is a recipe from Mina, Knitting Expat.
Oh, okay.
She has that little mini gusset
Mm-hmm.
thing. And then I just knit down the foot. I did a regular decrease wedge toe. And I love them.
They're cute.
So enough about my socks. That was a lot to say about one pair of socks. Whew. Keep your eye out for next year.
I'm exhausted.
And how cool is it that it was for the month of July?
And you don't have to necessarily do it through like Instagram. You can do something in your community. You can have a raffle, just community raffle, or wherever you can beg people to buy a ticket.
I wonder if she's going to do the same thing where everybody tries to do the same color scheme. If she's going to change the color scheme, or she's going to
another color. There was something else that went with that. Tea cakes or
yes, like a pale, very pale. I was just watching a podcast and they ordered it. Oh, the Grocery Girls, I think, ordered the alternative color. It was like a really no, that's not right. That's not right. They ordered Yarning's interpretation of the color.
Oh, okay.
Which had more like a really light base with a lot of the speckles of all the colors.
Yeah.
Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens next year.
Fun. Okay, so what are you working on? Tell us about your exciting news.
My exciting news, I can't believe I've had almost over 700 likes on that post on Instagram.
Debbie is one of these people, and I really would not have pegged her to do this. She says, I kind of feel like designing some colorwork socks. A day later, she's sending me a picture of a sock that's already done. Then, I see these pictures on Instagram. Within less than a week, she's got test knitters. Like, what has gotten into you? What?
My design process kind of does that. Like, if I get an urge, I have this, I don't know, I know it's supposed to happen when it all just comes together quickly like that. If I have to think about it and it takes too much work, then for me, because it's my hobby, it's not my job, I don't really have to put that much work into it. If it's that much work, I don't continue. Yeah. If it comes together really quickly and it kind of does itself, then it does itself. So I'll tell you a little bit about my design process. So I had this idea. I started sketching out some stuff on graph paper. I knit up a mini swatch.
You didn't show me that.
No. So this was some leftover from my Zweig sweater, the dark purple, and then it was just a mini hedgehog or something. And I originally was going to hold the contrast color with mohair. And when I knit up my second swatch, I don't know, I think you could do it, but it didn't go. So I pulled out the mohair idea. I redrew, I made some adjustments once I had this together. This was my second little prototype. Still with the mohair. I made some adjustments to that too. I added a couple stitches here and subtracted a couple stitches there. And then I ended up with this.
So this is how the design process works. You do a little bit of swatching, you try a little bit, I love that, Debbie. How fun was it to knit with that dark charcoal though?
It wasn't bad at all because the yarn is so scrumptious. This is the Wool Barn and it's in her cashmere sock.
Yay.
So soft, you guys, and high twist. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So
right now it's being tested. Tell the name of it.
So the name is going to be Laguna Socks. We have a mountain and we have a wave. And so Laguna Beach is this little town just north of us. And Laguna Mountain, Mount Laguna is just west of us or east of us.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's been really fun. That came together. I'm working on my second sock. I have all of it finished except for I'm putting in the heel. This is the first pattern I've written that's going to have an afterthought heel. and I'm going to add some instructions with some pictures. I use the Kirby Werby method where you, it's kind of a combination of a couple things. I think Susan B. Anderson does this too, where she knits beyond where she wants to put the heel in. Then she goes back and does the heel, and then she finishes the toe. Well, this one, because it was my second sock, and I was at the beach or a baseball game, I was able to just keep knitting and finish the toe and then come back because I could count my rows from my other sock. But I cut in, you pick up your stitches on both sides, you make a snip in the middle, and then you pick out your stitches, but you leave the last two stitches unpicked. And that helps really to keep this corner closed so you don't have holes and gaps on the sides.
Right.
And that's an amazing
That's my favorite
invention.
skill.
Yeah. So, and then I knit 4 rounds just straight, and then I start the decreases. And by knitting 4 rounds straight, I have found that it really gives you a little bit of extra, I don't know how to
Depth.
put this. Extra depth. It gives the distance between the bottom of the heel and the beginning of the heel a little bit more height so that your afterthought heel isn't just like a little wedge. It's actually like a right angle, right?
Yeah.
Makes like a full square at the bottom of your foot.
Can I show Danielle's finished sock she knit in like 3 days? What did it take her? A day?
I think it took her 2 days to knit the first sock and then a day to knit the second sock.
She's a crazy knitting freak.
She is an awesome.
A lot of time to knit. And I think that's the biggest thing that people say about when I do posts. They say, oh my gosh, it's so fast. And I'm not that I'm a fast knitter. It's that I have a lot of time to knit. So.
And look at the bag I've been keeping these in.
Emma.
It's perfect match for my socks with the gold and the gray. I mean, it couldn't be more fitting. So that's been fun.
This bag from Sarah and the Yarns.
We met Emma when we were at the Curious Handmade Retreat, and we got to hang out with her and Julie Suffolk Socks when we were at EYF. We went to dinner with them a few times. That was so fun. Miss you guys.
We went to have pizza on, hold on. It was St. Patty's Day night. It was snowing and wet. The snow was blowing sideways. It doesn't snow in Scotland, remember? No, it only snows in Scotland when the Americans show up. And there were people sitting outside of these restaurants with beer, all covered up except their face, drinking their beer in what felt like 15 degrees Fahrenheit blowing snow. I remember that night.
It wasn't quite that cold. It was cold, but...
It was that cold.
Was it?
I remember. It was very cold. That's great. I wish we could go back. Okay, so I have been knitting on, and I'm becoming more and more a monogamous knitter because I think I know if I put it down and get involved in something else, then it takes such an incredible long time and effort to pick it back up and get it going again. Hence, that was with my arrow sweater. I had started that, waiting for my yarn to come for my arboreal. I knit my arboreal in 16 days. I knit my alias in 16 days. Then to go back and take that arrow sweater out of the bag. Once I took it out, I knit it until it was completely finished.
Why do you think that is? That happens to me, too.
I think it happens to a lot of people. And what happens is the longer it sits, the less likely you will to get it back in your hands and finish it. And by that time, it may be a year or months go by. You now don't like the yarn. You're not so keen about the pattern. You gain a couple pounds. You're like, well, this ain't going to fit because it's a medium. And now I'm probably a large. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons, but I have found I do better, even though I have 9 sock whips. I can't believe I have that many. That's not bothering me because what I'm knitting now, I'm going to knit till it's done. And then I think I'm going to take a break from a big project and work on some of the things that are still in bags.
Socks.
So, socks, yes. My fabulous abacus is still not done.
Oh.
Big worsted weight wrap with the leaves and the stitch that I was working on during our trip in March to EYF.
I was wondering.
Lace, that's still not done.
I was wondering about that one.
Still have to finish it. Okay, so everybody knows the Princess Fiona. It's with the lace on the side.
That's so pretty.
and it's uses sport weight. And I had these 3 skeins of incredible, beautiful sport weight yarn from Hippie Yarn. I don't even know that it had a colorway name.
I
She's,
think it did. I remember you saying the colorway.
remember, I don't think so.
I thought it did.
It's gray on one end, and then it has these speckles of all these different gorgeous colors in the middle of the skein.
It's almost like a sunset.
And then my La Bien-Aimée that I got at EYF, which I showed Amy, the dyer from La Bien-Aimée, the picture of this. She's like, oh, yeah, I've got to look at that. Get it home, and it's like it's a perfect match. So you say, how in the world are you knitting that sweater with 2 different kinds? So 2 weeks ago, Monday, 2 weeks ago tomorrow, I cast this sweater on, and like I said, it's all I've been knitting. So I'm almost down to the ribbing at the bottom of the sweater already.
Wow.
So I alternated skeins of the Hippie yarn at the top, and look how interesting how it pooled. That's the front, but look at the back.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of micro stripy.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty.
I don't mind at all. I really like. So as I got down to the underarm, you knit a couple inches before you start the pattern. So I knit an inch or so, and these little markers remind me. So when I want to do the sleeves the same way too. I'm going to alternate the Hippie yarn at the top of the sleeve. And so this marks where I started doing 2 every other. And then this is marks where I did 2 gray, 1 Hippie yarn, 2 gray, 1 Hippie yarn. So it did kind of get a
Kind of fades.
So then I'm alternating skeins of the gray, and now I only have about 3 or 4 more rounds before I have to start the ribbing. So I just cut one of the skeins because I've got plenty left.
Oh, that texture is so pretty.
And of course,
That's going to be so pretty when it opens up.
Yes. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
So what I'm going to do, of course, I have to modify every pattern I use. And not that I feel like I have to make it my own. I just think of ways that the sweater that I want it to look like. I'm going to do the same pattern on the same. Okay, so the pattern is on the left-hand side of the sweater. So on the left-hand sleeve, maybe just past the elbow, I'm going to knit the triangular pattern just on that one sleeve.
Are you going to try and figure out how many inches you want, and then figure out how many leaves you want, and kind of figure out where you need to start that?
I'll probably have to, it'll probably be lower because it 1, and then you have 3, and then you have 5, and before you know it, it'll wrap around. So I really have to do some math. I might be calling Debbie for math.
Well, at least you'll have the side. I would maybe even block the body before you
that's a good idea.
Try and do that, because you won't have the true measurement of the inches of how wide that lace gets.
And it may just be 1 and
then 3.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So I'll figure out how many inches that is row-wise after I block the body. That's a good idea. Then I'll know kind of where to start.
Right. Are you doing them just on the left side?
Just on the left side.
Are you going to do a Wendy pop on this sweater?
I was thinking about it, and actually, you're supposed to take, well, it's all one color in the pattern, so I was thinking about doing the neckband, which I think it's just an I-cord, or, I may do a reverse stockinette, which is my favorite and easiest. I was thinking about maybe taking one of these, and there's every color you could use. I mean, bright chartreuse, turquoise, pink, yellow, orange, and doing the Wendy kind of pop up here. What do you guys think? Yes? We've got every color.
I don't know about that.
Okay, everybody, tell me what I should do.
I think the color and the grading of the beautiful speckle into the gray is so beautiful, and I think a bright ring around your neck might detract from that. I was thinking you'd do something on the right sleeve, like a bright stripe down here by your sleeve, like an armband. That would, you'd still have your statement, but it wouldn't be like right here up at the front. But I mean, that's up to you.
Or I could do the bind off of the sleeves
Yes.
color.
I bought yarn for that sweater too. I bought La Bien-Aimée too, and this is the color she picked out. I let her pick. I said, "This is the pattern I want to do. You see me here. What color do you think would look good?" And she picked this beautiful.
Funny, it's a gray, but it's all. It also reminds me a little bit of the gray that you had for your Archer.
Yes, I mean it has all colors in it. Look, here's a pink, and a turquoise, and a gold.
Purple.
Yeah, purple. This one's called Eshanes, Eshanes.
And my gray from La Bien-Aimée is, I think it's called Cobblestone Way.
I mean, look, it's got this burnt orange in it. It's got purple in it. It's beautiful, rich.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to alternate skeins with this too.
Are you thinking about, since now the Alias is done, you thinking about starting that one, or what you working on once your socks are published?
The only thing I have on the needles right now that's a bigger project is still my light rain.
Oh, your light rain. That's right. I forgot you hadn't finished that.
Yeah, and I started working on the rib. It's a split hem, so I started working down. I have it right here. I started working down the rib of the front. Let's see. So I have a little over an inch or so. There's the beginning of the split right there.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to work on this for a while and maybe try and finish this up. Get the sleeves started, or at least get one sleeve started. I'd like to wear this in the fall. But I also bought yarn when I was up in Reno for another sweater. Let me show you this quick little finished object. You know Jenna across the street, she's going away to college next year, and she's going to Wesleyan in Connecticut.
Like next year? Like this in just another months?
this fall, right.
Okay.
So I had her, I popped on Ravelry, and she wanted a ear warmer headband, and she picked out the yarn.
Oh, nice.
So I made her this little twisty.
That DK?
No, it's fingering weight held double, actually.
Oh, pretty.
And it was a traveling yarn colorway that I got in one of that one club that I was a member of.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. It's got like blue. It's got like little tinges of blue and silver. It's really pretty color.
You tried it on?
I just blocked it, so she hasn't tried it on yet. She tried it on before I blocked it, but...
You like it?
Yeah, I think she's going to like it. So that's another little finished object. Do you want to see the sweater I'm going to make? This is the one that Rhea sent me as a gift. It's a Boylan Knitworks pattern.
Oh.
It's called Sapilla.
Mm.
Have you seen that one?
Oh, I'm sure I have.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Why don't you show us something that you bought? Or you know what? You should show... Oh, you got the three sisters. That's so cool.
I love this bag.
Oh my gosh. I'm so envious. I wanted that.
And she said, I didn't want to be so pushy and be a pushy salesperson to your sister when she was asking about it. I said, well, I'm so glad you didn't, because I'm the one that got it. Hold on a minute. Let me get up all the information about the bag.
Okay, and I'm going to look up Sapilla real quick. You guys know what it is. It's the one that comes in either the short sleeve or the long sleeve version. Remember this one?
Oh, yes.
So I really like the short sleeve, and I really like the dark body with the white or the lighter color work. So when I was in Reno...
That again?
Huh?
You say that again? You like which one?
I like the short sleeve version, and I like the dark main color with the light color work.
Okay.
So when I was in Reno, I was trying to think, okay, what main color do I want to make it? I have my dark purple Zweig sweater. I have um,
Your
lots of
card,
gray.
your gray coat that we took to UIF.
Right. I have the gray speckle, what's that one called with the yoke that Boylan Knitworks did?
Yeah, the one we took to UIF. That's what I'm talking about.
No, the one that we took, the one that I wore to Rhinebeck that was so popular at Rhinebeck.
Oh. Hi, Sunset Highway.
Sunset Highway, right. So
Oh
I
yeah, all
decided I was
those
going to
are
try
dark.
and, huh?
All those are dark, like gray,
Grays and stuff.
purple. Yeah. Ooh.
So I found this beautiful teal, and that pattern calls for a single ply yarn as well.
Oh,
And I love my Archer with the single ply. So I bought this, which is, you can't go wrong with Malabrigo.
of course not.
And
You just
this is their Machita is the single ply, and it's called 412 teal.
you just need two skeins.
Two skeins for the
Oh,
short sleeve version. And I
wow,
think even and I originally bought this skein of pollen to be my contrast color. I think I'll still have enough yarn left in this to knit with this, but this is not a single ply.
that's what you use for your socks.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
I wouldn't have chose those two colors.
no,
Uh-uh. I
I'm
mean,
I'm on the fence with this one.
it looks. I don't know. It's like I know there's enough difference in tone because that blue is really dark. Did you take a black and white of that?
No,
I know it. I know it will pop. Do you have any other choices or thoughts?
something
Ooh,
lighter like that. I
yes.
don't think I have enough of this. This was one of the three colors that Nora George dyed for your three color socks.
How many? How much do you need for the color work for
One
short sleeve?
skein. I
Well,
might,
it's, I don't have anything up there. Even that beautiful butter yellow right above your head.
yeah, but that's not, it's not fingering. It's really a heavy fingering and it won't go with this fingering single.
Oh, sorry. Even a gray. Oh, Debbie, that's beautiful. Is that from Hannah?
No, it's from Carol Haverland.
Oh, okay. That's pretty. That's pretty.
It's
Yeah,
got
you're
gold
it's
and
mm,
it's
you could
also
even
not a single.
it doesn't matter, but you could also use that where's that picture again you showed? You could use that gold for like the bottom little tiny pops around. Yeah, you see the little teardrops at the very, very bottom of the pattern?
Oh,
That the gold,
introduce a
and then
third color.
yes, and then use the blue, the light blue that has that beautiful gold in it. Oh, ooh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Okay, that's some ideas. So I
Okay.
bought that, and then when I was also at that store, I bought this, which is the hedgehog that I wanted to do some color work because this has got orange and teal and pink, and I just love this color. This
That
is
is,
what it looks like knit up. I'm gonna pull it out of this sock because I don't like it in this sock, but
yeah.
I'm not sure what that'll be. That may just be socks, plain
But that
socks.
looks pretty with teal too, Debbie. Put that with the skeins you just had.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but this has got actually quite a bit of dark in it, and I thought the color work would be lost.
I don't think the color work's going to be lost. It's not long strips of the dark. It just has little specks of the dark.
Yeah, maybe. It's got long strips of this orange, this
It'll
dark
look
burnt orange.
run it by mom. But even if it had a little bit of that like watercolor, you know, my arboreal at the top,
Yeah.
it gives just a different look. They are
Pink
about the same hue though. If you did a
pink
black,
with this? I don't see pink with this.
Okay. It does have that color in it though, and speckles, does it not?
Yes, but I don't know that you would see that in the color work.
I still like
I think I like this more.
I like that too. I think I like that best.
Because that color work has a lot of small little pieces.
So it really needs to be, it may be one stitch, right?
Yeah, yeah. I really think it needs to be this. Okay, I think I'm decided on that.
Okay, let me tell you.
Plus, wait, before you go. Plus, the contrast color starts at the top and is quite a big section here
Right,
before you start the main color. And I
right.
was a little unsure about that golden
Yeah,
mustard color all up here at the top.
yeah.
This would look good though, right?
Oh, yes. Blue looks great on you.
Okay, I think I'm decided. So I might cast that on soon, but I want to try and get some of my light rain finished. Did you buy something?
Okay, so my Three Sisters Ghastly bag.
Yes.
It's Charlene. She's
Leanie
Leanie
Louise.
Louise.
She was one of my test knitters for my drizzle socks.
Oh, she was?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she test knitted.
Yeah.
So she has Beach Dreams bags on Etsy. She's in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you, Charlene. I won. I got it.
That's so cute.
I love it. And I love how it's pieced in the back.
Yes.
I love these little polka dots. Isn't it just the cutest bag?
Yes. I think it's perfect for socks.
I think when I start working through my whips, all my socks, the ones I'm working on will go in my favorite Ghastly bag until they are finished. And then they'll come out, and then the next one will go and spend time in my favorite bag.
I love
socks.
it.
I love it too. Okay, I have some other things. Hey, can we show our August colorway from Knit Two Together? You want to do that? Do you have it nearby?
I have it right here.
Okay, so we had ours since July because we were ding-dongs. Well, we weren't ding-dongs, but anyway. You ready to show it?
Yeah. Don't look away if you haven't gotten yours yet.
Yeah, haven't gotten it.
Oh, you know what? The grocery girl showed it, right?
I think so.
I think they did. Okay, so we're okay to show it.
Okay, if not, here comes though. And that green, this green mini's getting blown out. It is a bright.
It is getting blown out.
Yours is too. I'm going to take this.
It's like an apple green.
It's incredible color. And it's sparkle. It's on the sparkle base.
Mine is so similar, Amy. Look at how close they are.
Yeah. Look at that green.
Look at that hot pink. I know this green is really, it's getting blown out. Maybe if I put it against my white shirt, it won't get so blown out.
August was one a double.
The story is they remembered their banana bikes, their banana bicycles.
Oh.
And they would say, want a double? And they'd double up on their banana bikes and they'd ride together.
Our banana bikes, banana seat bikes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Nicole.
Thanks, Nicole. I'm trying to remember what the add-on was. Oh, they were cards. We'll have to contact her for the cards.
Cards.
Yeah, remember there was an inclusion with each one that Nicole didn't have yet?
What was the inclusion? Cards? What do you mean cards?
Note cards with something.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Well, when I went to the beach, we came through Savannah. We came home a day early because there was going to be some really bad thunderstorms. It was going to be beautiful the next day, but the day you leave, you pack up and you go. So by noon on Tuesday, we were supposed to come back on Wednesday. Ronnie said, Amy, it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, but these really bad storms, just like the day before, we're going to be coming in. He says, do you just want to head out now? And I said, well, let's go. We'll go by, before the storms start. Let's run through Savannah, go to the Frayed Knot, which is a great little store, and get a couple things. He said, okay, let's go then. So we ended up spending the day at the lake the next day once we got home. So Copper Corgi is local to Savannah.
Really?
Yes, that's their logo. That's her local.
Oh.
She dyes stuff just for the Frayed Knot, I believe. Some of the colorways are just for them. So
did you get some for me?
Did I get some for you?
I'm kidding. I don't need yarn. Believe me.
I can see you really getting low up there. Anyway, this is her. Hold on just a minute. 100% superwash merino.
Did you see how I was able to make her speechless, you guys? I asked
Not
her that question.
hardly. This is called 4 Sticks. And the 100% superwash merino, it feels almost like a sport weight. Are we finished yet? Let's wait until all the children have us undivided attention.
Go ahead, I'm listening. Sport
Okay.
weight 100% merino. I'm listening. Yes.
What's the name of the colorway?
You didn't say it yet.
I did. I said 4 Sticks.
Oh, I thought that was the base. Oh my goodness, isn't that beautiful?
It has some, I don't know if you can really tell. Do you see the lavender?
Yes.
And this gold and this brown, this bright gold. Isn't that beautiful?
It is. It's really, really pretty. How many grams in the one skein? Is it 100?
Well, it's 115 grams, 4 ounces, 380 yards. So it is a plumper.
That's a lot for a sport weight.
It's not sport. It doesn't say it's sport. Oh, yes, it.
You weren't listening to yourself.
I said it feels like a sport weight, but if you read at the top there, it says sport. Okay, so I bought that.
Just
and
one?
Just one. Because I bought 3 skeins, and I've never had this before. You guys know of the Manos de Uruguay.
Yes.
But yeah. And this is Superwash Merino and Polyamide 75-25.
It's a sock yarn.
It's a sock yarn. It is the softest stuff. It's like fluff.
It's pretty.
Crema. I got 1 skein of this, and I got 2 skeins of reindeer.
Ooh. What you gonna do with that? Is that gonna be colorwork sweater?
I don't know.
That is so not your...
I know, it's not my palette. What is going into me? Neutral. What?
That's gonna be another sweater.
I was thinking about starting to do some designing on our mystery knit along for Mother's Day for next year.
Oh. Yes.
Because we talked about doing maybe another mystery knit along come fall, having 2 each year. So.
Yeah, speaking of that, what do you guys think of doing a colorwork mitten mystery knit along? Would you guys be interested in a colorwork mitten? And maybe a hat to match? Maybe? Comment below and let us know what you think, because I, as you know, have been playing around with colorwork. And I think it would be really fun to have a design kind of not be known what it is in the beginning, and as the clues come out, it kind of reveals itself. And you know, mittens are small. They're small projects. It's smaller even than a sock. So we could do like a mitten and a hat, or a mitten and a cowl, or something like that. We thought it would be fun to change it up instead of just having a wrap or a shawl every time. So let us know your thoughts.
Mitten, you can do both concurrently.
Right.
So if you get the one clue, you work on and then a week later, the next clue, you work on that. So you're working on your set of mittens together, and they reveal themselves at the end, and then you have a pair of mittens. So you may be working on other projects. I don't know how long it would take to get one clue done, but we were thinking, I mean, how many wraps does one need?
I don't know. Not very many for me, because I don't wear them all that often.
No.
And I have a lot that are just sitting in my closet that I don't wear hardly at all. I'm going to start giving them away, I think.
Oh, listen. Oh, speaking of, Melissa, her group in November does some sort of fall festival where they sell knitted objects.
Oh.
And the money goes towards something. Of course, I don't have all the details. But I donated a whole bunch of those baby hats that I knit years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Sold almost every single one. So if you have something when you say you give away, I mean, if you have somebody who wants it, that's fine. If you want to send anything to me or straight to her for donation towards this craft bazaar, I think it is, then that's an option too. Just throwing that out there for you.
Okay.
Oh, remember Michelle Leon? We did a swap.
You did a swap. I saw your post.
She messaged me about last week, maybe it was 10 days ago, not even 2 weeks ago. She just said, hey, you want to do a swap? I'm like, sure. So she says, how about 10 gram minis? And I said, okay. And I thought, well, I don't have any 10 grammers. So I'm sitting there, rolling into boss, wait, rolling into boss. And I was like, what are you doing? I said, I'm making 10 gram minis. So we swapped and we had some other goodies. Let me show you. And then I said, hey, you want to send these little 10 grammers? They're a little ball like that big. Perfect size for what we lost. Anyway, 10 of those, they can't just travel from Singapore to the U.S. by themselves.
Yeah.
So I said, do you want to swap off 2 full skeins? She said, sure. Guess what I got? Hold on, I'll show you. This one and this one. Oh, oops. That's okay. And I've gotten the hedgehog fibers before. This is called Seed.
Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't that beautiful?
Is that a single or
sock weight?
Sock? Nice.
These little pops of yellow and pink and red.
That would work in a colorwork sock.
Skein yarn. I never used Skein before.
Me neither. Ooh, that's pretty together.
Farmhouse red. Isn't that beautiful?
Is that also sock yarn?
Yes.
Ooh, that would make beautiful Christmas socks.
Wouldn't they? Oh.
Colorwork Christmas socks with snowflakes on them.
Designed it for me. I will knit them.
Okay, I will. For reals.
Okay, let's for reals. Let's do that. Anybody else want to do a snowflake colorwork Christmas sock? We're making all these plans for 2 people who have hardly any time to pick their nose.
I know.
We're going to make time to pick our nose, but I don't know how much time we'll have left to do everything else.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Life is so crazy.
Crazy. And my husband says, Amy, the harder you work, the less help you're going to get because your boss knows you can do the work of 2 people. Why would any boss decide to hire somebody new when he's got a team full of people who just do and do and do and do? I said, instead of going on strike, if all of us just do our productivity only, no more, just see the many patients that we have for productivity and we do missed visits for everything else, we do that for 2 weeks. Holy cow. Somebody may get an extra PT in this office.
How long do you think you'd have to do that before they would finally hire somebody?
Probably just a couple weeks.
Really?
Because higher-ups make phone calls and they look at numbers and they see all these missed visits. That means money has to be given back to Medicare. Nobody wants to give money back to Medicare if you don't meet your quota.
What's wrong with you people? You need to get together and have a secret meeting and make this decision.
Secret strike. We need to have a sit-down strike. Not really sit down, but
a working strike. Do what you just are supposed to do, maybe a little bit more, but why are you guys killing yourselves to cover this extra person that's not there, that should be there?
I don't know. Why are we doing that? I mean, certainly we're getting paid. Certainly in a couple of weeks, I got to pay for this Christmas cruise, so it's not hurting the paycheck. But I'm getting worn down. Yeah. I'm getting worn down. And every morning I get out of bed and I feel like an old woman. No lie, Debbie. It's like my feet hurt, my hips hurt. I'm thinking, what is wrong with me? And after I get in the shower and take a little ibuprofen, I'm fine. But it doesn't feel good to do.
Yeah. You got to think about the fact that you're not going to be able to do this job for the rest of your life. You're going to get to a point to where it's going to be too physically demanding, and you're going to have to move up in management or something.
They can't afford me in management. That's the problem for them. And for me, I don't think I'd like to. I don't think I could have a desk job. I just want to retire and go to the lake.
Okay. Let me know when that's on your timeline, and I'll retire at the same time.
Okay, good.
I'll come visit you.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Make sure you have 2 rocking chairs on the porch, not just one.
I will have at least 2 rocking chairs on the porch facing the lake.
With a nice screened-in porch so we don't get eaten alive by the bugs.
That all the time. Because it's hard to do that when you're knitting.
You poke your eye out if you did that when you were knitting.
I mean, you need 2 more hands. 1 to do that, 2 to knit, and 1 to drink.
That's why we have our men on the sides. They're swatting the flies for us and fanning us.
With the fan. And bringing the wine up with a straw so we can sip it. Thank you, honey.
Yeah, that'll go over really well.
That'll go over well.
Okay, so when I was at the store in Reno, which is called Yarn Refuge, I met Pam, the owner. It was so much fun.
Oh,
It's so funny. Look at that little stitch marker with the card.
Oh.
So I'll have to tell you, you know how I put the post up and I said, Julie and I are meeting at Yarn Refuge. One of the ladies called the store. I didn't even tell the store we were coming. We just arranged it and I put the post out there. Someone saw that on Instagram. They called the store and they said, what time are they going to be there? And Pam said, what time are who going to be here? She said, don't you know? Debbie and Julie are coming.
She's like, who's Debbie? I know Julie.
Yeah.
What's so feel about her?
So
did she show up? Did the lady show up?
Yeah, she was there. Oh. She was there and we met, we talked. I'm just really sorry. I cannot remember her name. I'll have to go back and look through my post.
The little live video where you guys opened that box. I guess they got a shipment of hedgehogs.
Yeah. So she held the box until we got there and we did the live video with the opening of the box and everything. And one of their people that works in the store, I think his name's Justin. I'm pretty sure his name's Justin. He's an independent yarn dyer as well, and they carry his yarn in the store. And his yarn is called Archaic Fibers. And I had to support a local dyer, so I bought this beautiful Archaic.
Oh, so cool.
Fibers. This is his Blueface Leicester light fingering. It's called Sparkle Motion, and it's 75/25 BFL nylon, 100 grams, 464 yards, and hand dyed in Reno, Nevada. And look at the beautiful little specks.
That would make a beautiful pair of textured socks.
Yes, that's why I bought it.
Maybe the Galliano.
I already started my Galliano socks in my other.
You didn't show me what progress you've made on it. I almost forgot.
I posted that the last time. I showed on our last podcast and I put pictures in.
Yeah, but you didn't finish them?
No, I didn't finish them. I haven't finished them.
Okay.
I worked a little bit farther, but I've been, designing things and doing other things this last month. So I bought that. This is going to be a beautiful, almost like a neutral. It's a lavender blue, not blue, purple with pink speckles. So I got that. And then Julie gave me one of her bags.
Oh.
Isn't that beautiful?
Stop. Oh, how pretty.
I don't know how many more bags she's going to be making. She and her husband are opening up a store, Smart and Final store. They're going to be owners of a franchise. It's a grocery store.
What?
Why? Yes. He was laid off from his job several months ago and took some time off. And he was a manager, like a regional manager of CVS. So he has business experience running stores and operations of stores like that. So they decided to look into franchising, and they're going through this long training program right now, several months of training, working in the store, learning how it works and all of this. And
what's the name of the store?
Smart and Final.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, we have it here in California.
Oh, I've never even heard what that is. I don't know if it was a boutique or if it was a...
No, it's like a grocery store. It's like a Vons or a...
Smart and Final.
Yeah.
Did she call Tracy and ask if she could have an IGA down there?
I don't think she did. So okay, she gave me a skein of yarn and you a skein of yarn, and we'll have to pick which one we want. But they're both from Ellie, and they're her Yarn Snob colorway.
Oh my gosh! No way.
Yes.
Are you saying pile?
What?
You're gonna put it on my pile of stuff for when I come?
Yes. So one of these is gotta have shawls fingering, and then the other one's gotta have socks. And then look what else she sent us.
Oh my gosh, you crafting. That's on the sock?
Yes.
And what's the tag with the alligator eating the person with the socks sticking out?
It says Blue Q Socks. Women's Crew Socks. Look at the lady with the knitting needles coming out of her hair behind the sewing machine.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
A pair of scissors flying out the side. So we each have a pair of those.
Oh, thank you, Jules. That was so sweet.
I know. I felt so bad. I didn't have any presents for her.
What were you thinking? You knew
I
you were
don't
meeting
know.
her?
I didn't even remember until I was halfway up there that she lived up there, and then
Debbie, do you have her address? We can send her something.
Yes, I think I do.
Okay.
I think I do. You want to see what else I bought? Not while I was there, but after I got back.
Show me more things. Who is that from?
That's by the Bay Yarn.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. She's made, I think I saw that. I didn't even think it was one of her bags though. Oh, it's a cute yoga bag.
It's a namaste bag. Isn't it adorable?
It's adorable.
So this is and look, it has 2 pockets inside. I don't know if you can see the pockets.
Those are cute.
It's the same one that we have, except it's the medium size instead of the small.
It looks like it's a lighter fabric too. It's not a.
It is a little bit lighter, so it's a little squishier.
Oh, that probably hold a couple sock projects.
Yes, totally. I couldn't resist it. I thought it was the cutest thing ever.
Oh, that's cute.
She has such good quality. I really love her bags. So I got
the
that. And then I had a package arrive as a package for you and me and or giveaway from a new yarn dyer. Her name is Avenue Fibers, hand dyed in British Columbia. So she's from British Columbia. And she sent 2 full skeins and a mini set.
You and me and or give away or keep all myself and not tell anybody about it present.
No, I think this needs to be. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe
you're gonna have to show it now. Too late.
I know. Well, I'm just not sure which would be the giveaway and which would be the keep. But look at this cute mini skein set. It's called her fruit salad bundle.
Oh, how adorable. What a great name.
So we have grape, cherry, honeydew, blueberry, and cantaloupe.
Cute. Oh. And they're perfect for heels and toes to go in any sock that needs a pop of tonal color. Ooh, that's pretty.
I might have to keep that.
20 grams?
Yep. 20 grams, 92 yards each, 75-25, merino nylon, and so soft. Perfect. And then these are the 2 other colors she gave me. One is called BY. Huh?
What's the name of this person?
Her name is Avenue Fibers. This is her card.
Avenue Fibers. Oh, what a cute little
logo.
Yep,
it's like she's on the road with her little mountains.
Avenue Fibers. Okay.
So I have BYG Scenic Sock.
Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm.
And then I have Graffiti in the Sky. So this one's a 75-25, and this next one's an 80-20, 2-ply. This is a BFL in nylon. Graffiti in the Sky.
How pretty is that?
It's got little specks of dark gray, and then hot pink, teal.
People that dye don't understand when you have black has a mind of its own. And I'm not sure if the black dye is so much finer. It is so hard to control black. And to get little tiny specks like that and not have the whole thing turn gray is very challenging.
Yeah.
She did a good job. Ooh.
So go check out her shop, you guys. Avenue Fibers. Thank you so much. Her name is Christina.
Christina? Thank you, Christina. That was so sweet.
Yeah. She said it's fairly early days for her, so she appreciates any feedback. Her goal is to vend at Knit City 2020.
Ooh, that's a good goal.
Yeah, she said, maybe I'll see you there. So thank you so much, Christina, for sending that along. I will most likely put both of these big skeins in our giveaway unless Amy falls in love with one of them and has to have one. I'll let her look at them and pick And then these, I'm afraid they might need to stay with me. I always had some kind of mini project going on.
And there's an odd number of those, so we can't split those up.
No, they need to stay together for sure.
Oh, of course they need to stay together. Perfect.
These would make the cutest socks, don't you think?
They would.
Just stripe them all together.
Yes.
They'd be a rainbow sock.
Or little stripy mittens. Brightly colored mittens when it gets dark and gloomy and dreary.
Except doesn't get dark and dreary and gloomy here. Really.
It does here. Hint, hint. It does in Georgia.
Okay. I think that's all I have, Amy.
I think that's all that I got going on too.
That was a lot.
It didn't seem like a lot. I'm only knitting on the same sweater. I'm just knitting Princess Fiona, soon to be on the sleeves. So that's 2 weeks worth of knitting, which is almost the whole body.
What are you going to do with the sleeves, other than the modification? Because I noticed that pattern has pretty slim sleeves.
I'm going to make sure they fit my fat arms. I'm going to have to do some math, just like I do with every sweater.
How's the construction of that? Is it it's a short row across the top, right?
I'm assuming it is, because you pick up, yes, they're short rows. 4 rows of short rows 17 times.
So she must go back,
which was really just sort of like we did with Alias.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, Alias, and I know that's a basic. You go short rows across until then you're in the round. Then you're down here by the arm, and you're doing the round. So it'll be interesting to see how this hippie yarn knits up doing the back and forth.
Oh.
I'll probably use one ball until we start in the round, and then probably by that time, it'll be time to fade in the gray. So
yeah, that'll be cool to see how that pulls up there.
Yeah, it was really. Oh, there is a little rib. Oh, there's a 1x1 rib around the neckline for 4 rounds.
Okay.
So let us know in the comments for this podcast. You asked a question about
the colorwork mitten mystery knit along.
Yes, if you guys want to do that for fall. And let me know about this color at the top of the neck. Should I just do it gray and do the pop of color bind off at the sleeves, or a stripe on the one sleeve?
And my feelings won't be hurt if you think it should be a pop of color at the neck. I don't have a strong opinion about it, but I probably wouldn't do it if it was me. But then that's just me. I'm bored.
I don't know if I want to do a stripe. I mean, if we had stripes on both sides, like the majority of my sweaters have been, I've changed one of the stripes to a pop color. But there's not going to be there's no striping other than what this yarn is doing. So
yeah. Every sweater doesn't have to have a Wendy pop either. You know that.
I know that. Hey, speaking of the other side, have you seen the new it's called Seatbelt Psychic?
No.
I think it's on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. This guy, who's an Uber driver, well, they call it rideshare, but it's Uber. He's a medium. And these people get in the car, of course, just waiting, just like we did for 2 weeks, running around different place to place. And he says, you're having a good day? Yeah, I'm having a good day. You? Yeah. He says, do you believe in psychics or mediums? And some say no. One guy was a pastor. He says, I don't. He says, okay. Well, I'm a medium. Oh? He says, yeah. He says, would you be open to, me giving you a reading? And the pastor said, sure. But the pastor just looked out the window. He didn't say yes or no to anything. He says, well, I'm getting a woman coming through, something about up here, how she died. I don't know if it's lung or breast but she said she wanted me to tell you that she is very proud of you, the way you're raising the twins. And the pastor said, stop right now. No more. Stop it. Stop talking. And he started to fill up with tears, and he said, is she happy? I was in tears. We have to keep the tissue box nearby every single time we watch this stupid show. Anyway.
What network is it on?
It's on, I think it's Lifetime. I think it's on the Lifetime network. You know, the Lifetime stuff makes you cry all the time anyway. Seatbelt Psychic. It's on at
I
10
need to
o'clock.
write that down.
His name is Thomas John. And we looked him up. You can get a phone reading, like a 30-minute phone call reading.
How do you know it's really with him?
Well, I don't know.
What's his name? John?
Thomas John.
Thomas
But there's
John.
a waiting list for the 30-minute phone call readings.
Of course. How
It's
much does that cost?
It's a year long, the list.
Oh my God.
I don't know, but Ronnie said he'd pay it.
He's going to end up having a show like that Edwards guy.
Yeah, John Edwards.
John Edwards.
So let me tell you, let me tell you one more story about that guy. This black girl gets in the car. Just like, how are you? He's like, I'm okay. He said, I need to pull over. We need to get out of the car right now. Just looked at him like, are you crazy? I just got in the car. You're here to take me somewhere. He says, there's 200 spirits crammed back there with you. What do you do? She says, I'm a mortician. He knew nothing about her. He was wanting to get out of the car. It's a little too crowded in there. Anyway, I'm not trying to push my beliefs. I'm just saying it is a very interesting show. Make sure you have a tissue box, whether you believe it or don't believe it. It's really entertaining. And
you don't think it's all set up? You don't think they're all just actors?
They follow up with these people later on. And they said, there's no way he could have known this. I mean, there was people that say, who's a funny name, like not like Pumpkin or Boo or something. And the girl says, that's what my father called me. That was my nickname. Nobody else knows that. I've never told anybody that. I don't know, Debbie. Anyway, Seatbelt Psychic.
It's entertainment, if nothing else.
They're sending me a couple bucks just to say it on our podcast. I'm only kidding.
Sorry, but Amy, I don't think they know who you are.
Well, why not?
Maybe he knows who you are.
Maybe Wendy told him.
Well, you know, if we ever got in that cab with him, he would have to say, let's pull over. She's screaming in my ear and I cannot get her to stop.
He's like, la, 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 I can't do this and drive at the same time. There's like a party going on in my head here.
What do you think she would be? What do you think she would say would be the first thing that she would say to make us know that it was her?
He would say, who is G-E-M? Gwendist? Who's Gwendist? If he said that to me, I'd poop my pants. I would.
And if he said, was there really a bee?
A bee? Yeah, I'd poop my pants.
Me too.
But knowing us, some old woman I treated years ago who croaked, I forget their name, she'd come through. Who's the lady with it? Well, every lady with the gray hair are people that I treat. I don't know. Where's Wendy is what I want to know. Is she busy doing something else right now? Hello?
Yeah. She's up there organizing parties. She's making sure everybody's having their party time.
She's busy. Way busy.
Yeah.
She's like the greeter at Walmart. Everybody that comes through, hi, can I help you? What can I get for you? I'm here to just make sure your stay is comfortable. She's busy.
Yeah.
Playing games with all the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Making people laugh. Are you watching, I know Abby doesn't watch us, but do you see some of her stories that she puts up on Instagram? A lot of them are old pictures. She must have a whole album of Wendy. Pictures of her and Wendy. Some of the pictures I've never seen.
Really?
Like there was a picture of Baba and Wendy laying in bed. I don't know who took that picture, reading a book or doing something. And I even private messaged her. I said, what are they doing? Because it said like real love or true love. Uh-huh. She said, reading. They used to read together. I didn't know Wendy could read.
Amy.
She's the only teacher I know who didn't know how to read. See? She knew how to read. He probably, you know what? Thomas John would probably start. He would say, I don't know sign language.
She's using her hands.
She's using her hands. Anyway, okay, now we're recording, so.
Yeah.
I don't know when we'll see you again. It may be by Christmas. Yes, and also colorwork Christmas socks. That could be a great, fun new tradition. I know everybody does the Christmas cast on, and that'd be fun.
Okay.
Get on that, Debbie.
I'll try and do something simple because I mean, this really is a very little bit of color work. It's not a whole lot. 10 rows for the pattern, a couple stripes, and you're through it. So it's enough interest to introduce you to it. And in my pattern, I suggest you go up a needle size just for that color work band. And it seems to work just the perfect amount to get it so that it's not too tight. But
Well, even if you did a motif and it can be repeated for the whole sock, for just the top of the sock, as somebody would like to, like somebody asked me on Ravelry, I'm casting on 64 stitches for your flying seagull socks. What do I do? I don't have all my patterns memorized. She messaged me back. It's a 6-stitch repeat. So if you have a repeat that you know how many stitches, if it's divisible into that first number, the big number, evenly, then you can do that. So I said you can either do the ribbing in 64 stitches, add 2 more, and then do the repeat, or just cast on with 66 stitches. 2 stitches isn't going to make a big difference. So
yeah.
give options like that for a colorwork sock I think would be great, especially if nobody's really done color work. I mean, you spend 15, 30 minutes on it, it's too tight, you rip it back. It's not like you've done a whole yoke. If you've never done color work, especially with these mittens too, is a good idea for a mystery knit along. It's just a small project that can be adjusted or ripped out if you need to and start over.
Yeah. And if you like the motif and you want to make it longer, I mean, the nice thing about this that even Mom noticed is that you can make it's short enough so that you can make the leg however long you want after you do the motif.
Right. You put in a lifeline after the ribbing, whether it's a sock or a mitten. If you have to rip back because it's too tight, you don't have to redo all your ribbing. Just rip back until you have to your lifeline.
Right. And you can see that Danielle, when she did hers, I think her leg is probably only that long. Right. Before she put her heel in, because she likes a shorter sock, and it works perfect for shorter or longer. You just add more. So, yes, give us some feedback. We love to hear from you. We love to read your comments. We read all of them, even if we may not respond to everyone. It's so great to hear from you. Maybe between this time and next time, we'll reach our 6,000 subscribers, which would be fun.
Yes, I'm going to put in a thread about something about.
And we're going to put together a big package. Maybe we'll draw 2 or 3 names, and we'll put some big packages together. That'd be fun.
Okay.
If you can't be kind,
then be quiet. Hope you have
happy knitting.
See you next time.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.